up. We have Alex McMillan. I've been working with Alex McMillan now for about 5 years, and he's been helping so many people, myself included, with the journey towards having healthier tomorrows than we did yesterday. So it's my privilege to bring on Alex McMillan. Welcome, Alex.
Hey, Craig. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, loud and clear.
Man, I'm excited to be on. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a guest on this amazing Health Talks. And for all of you out there, I'm so glad you gave yourself this space today, this time to actually be here with us. If you think about this, it's very powerful what you decided to do. You could be anywhere you want to be right now, anywhere in the world. You know, I'm sure you could go rack up a credit card bill and fly to Greece. Maybe you have it sitting in your bank account. I don't know, and escape life. But you actually chose to be here on Health Talks and to plug in with all of us. And you know what? I'm at one of the happiest and whiniest places on earth. I'm at Disneyland. I'm not sure if you can actually see my shirt. My internet's coming through with my kids. It's an amazing place. The people here are all fired up at the same time. Come 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Oh my goodness. Craziness. Well, Craig, you know, I'm sitting here in a workout room in my hotel, and this place has all these affirmations, and these affirmations on the wall are just amazing. And one of the words is, it says, every day is a good day to work out. And I believe every day is a good day to come on a Health Talks like this and really set some habits into your life. And I want to talk to you today about what a habit is, how you form it, and how it's going to literally create the life that you want. Let me start by this statement, which is powerful. You know, it goes like this. First, you create your habits. Then your habits create you. Think about that for a minute. If we don't pick our habits and decide what those habits we want in our life are going to be, you're going to find your life becoming something and looking like something you don't want. Did you know this? That about 40 to 50% of every single thing you do in a day is driven by the habits that are automatically set in your life and in your mind by how you programmed yourself before. The choices and things you made yesterday, they definitely influence what you do today. And in fact, I'm going to go beyond that and show you something that's just going to shock you. 90% of what you think about in your mind is programmed by your subconscious mind of what you've programmed in. And the habits, that's crazy. 90-something% of what you think about is there. So when you think about creating a life of health, of wealth, and of amazing relationships, that's only going to happen if the thoughts that you have to pull from and the habits that you've created in your life are there to help that happen. Blessing is this, that from this moment right here, moving forward, you can make the decision to create habits of health in your life that are going to drive the majority of the choices. How would that feel for you to know that you don't have to use willpower of like, I've got to try and stick with this good eating choice, or I've got to try and fit this exercise in and figure out, get up the tenacity to do that. How good would that feel to know that the words that come out of your mouth around that significant other or the other people you work with are just blessings and lifting and create value? And all of a sudden, there's this reciprocity coming back to you where just, it's like you've heard this word, the law of attraction. Well, the law of attraction is about what radio station or what frequency you're putting out there. And so if you've basically created a habit that is healthy, and I want to tell you about that, you're going to start to see that that's going to bring good things in, since you know this. If you go down the wrong path on the way to work, where are you going to end up? Not at work. If you go down the wrong path on the way to Disneyland, where are you going to end up? Not at Disneyland. You go down the wrong path with your eating choices, with your financial choices, with your exercise choices, with the communications, where are you going to end up? Not at the health, the wealth, and the relationship that you want. You see, habit is a pathway. And this is amazing. And what we're going to talk about here in the next 5 minutes is exactly how you're going to be able to identify that path, get on it, and stay on it. And if for some reason you find yourself wandering off, you're going to know how to see that very clearly in your mind and jump back on it. All right, fair enough? So look at this for a moment. Think of a good habit as that path you routinely take that makes your life gooder, just kidding, better or improved the way you want. Think of a good habit as something that moves you closer or directly to your true desires and goals. I'm talking about the true desires and goals. And these habits have the power and the ability to keep you in that good place that you desire and to maintain that, because they'll become automatic. It's like orbiting around the earth, and all of a sudden it's just so effortless as you're out there in weightlessness. But creating that habit takes a little energy, just like getting off the earth in that rocket ship. There's a lot of energy in the beginning, but it's worth it. So you're going to need a little bit of support and structure. I want you to picture this rocket ship getting ready to get out in this outer space where it's almost effortless and weightless out there and able to do things. And, you know, you can jump and then jump 200, 300 feet up, or maybe infinitely without a whole lot of effort. But getting up into that place takes some structure and some focus, like Craig was showing that house before. And we're going to talk about how you're going to get that. Now, so that was a good habit. It's a path that routinely takes you to a better place that you desire and helps you to maintain that state. Now, I want you to picture it in your mind's eye what a bad habit is. A bad habit is almost exactly the same, one little caveat different. It's a routine that takes you somewhere that temporarily feels good and feels like it makes your life better, but just for a moment. But ultimately, it moves you further away from your true desires and the way you want to feel. And it's sneaky because in the beginning, doesn't it feel like that thing that is a bad habit that you have? It gives you some instant gratification. I'll give you a couple examples. Walking down, all of a sudden there's some cookies sitting there. And before I know it, I've got 3 of them in my mouth. What's up with that? How did that happen? Like, who is this? Whose hand is this, right? Ever had one of those moments? Or here, I have some of this. Your significant other says something to you, and before you know it, you've barked out 3 or 4 words that were demeaning and crushing in the relationship. Well, whose mouth was this? Who's controlling that, right? And it's all of a sudden, it's like something's taken over you. It's not you. Have you ever had that happen before? Or you had the intention to get that exercise in, or the intention to start that IRA fund, or the intention to, but for some reason, you got the paycheck and you decided to go spend it on, and you decided to not put it here, but get something else that gave you some instant gratification. That's how powerful your habits can be. They can take over. It's almost like they possess you. And so this is going to kind of, again, another freaky, shocking little bit of information for you. Your habits are either going to bring you, like I said before, the health and the wealth and the happiness because you've created this routine. That's a blessing to your life. Or they're going to be a curse, and they're going to add dis-ease, make life more uncomfortable. Dis-ease brings disease, which ultimately leads to destruction. All right. So this word habit comes from a Latin word, which is off of another word, which means to habitat or inhabit. Now, if you think about this for a moment, this word habitat, what does that mean? It's like where you dwell. It's the space that you're in, right? So habits inhabit you. That's very interesting. They're actually something that like possess, and that's why you could be walking past that plate of cookies, have the best of intention to do well. That's why you could have this health goal in your life and go out with friends, and before you know it, you got a drink in your hand and a bunch of unhealthy foods that are giving you instant gratification, but ultimately you feel guilty. So would you like to know how to be the master over those habits? Now, I will tell you the secret to this is going to be having someone who can coach and guide you there, having support and community who can help reinforce that, and having the right choices to be able to make. So wait till you hear what's coming up on the rest of today's health talks, because it's going to lock this sucker in. But you want to, this talk is just to help give you the understanding of how to you create these things that are going to inhabit you. Wouldn't you like to choose which thoughts are going to inhabit your mind, which automatic actions that you take, so that the fueling of the way you feed yourself and the choices that you make in the way you project out in those relationships, and how your income is generated and created, build, because the habits drive that. Would you want that? So think about this for a moment. The question is, do you possess your habits, or are they possessing you? Which do you prefer? Because somebody's going to get owned. I'm telling you what, right? Better be you. Why don't you own them? Step up and say, I choose to be the boss. I choose to decide what's going on. So here's why habits are important. Because they help you not have to think so much. Who would like to have to think less, get healthy, get wealthy, and have more joyful relationships? Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, I'm raising my hand on that. I hope the rest of you, hundreds of people watching this, are raising your hand. Think about it. Would you like to just to have this think less and have it happen? Well, that's what a habit does for you. This is a loop that's created in your brain. It's like pushing the one button on your computer and a whole orchestration of commands take place and all these automatic features. You know, there's like 60 trillion cellular connections going on in your body right now, keeping you alive every second, like 60 trillion things are happening every second in you. Aren't you glad that that's automatic and you don't have to think about that? So you have about 80,000 thoughts that can go through your mind in a day. That's crazy. Not that many consciously, but subconsciously, about 80,000 things are influencing you. That's why you want to have habits that are going to become automatic to drive you. So they ultimately help you conserve energy. Habits ultimately help you conserve energy so that you can flow in your day and get the results that you want and get the kind of outcomes that you want. So we have a system called the habits of health. And health is your healthy body, your healthy mind, and your healthy finances. So don't think about health as just being your food choices. Think about it as, I got a relationship that thrives. My finances is thriving. And would you rather build that health on the sand, where when the winds blow and the waves come up and the rain beats down, that house gets washed away? Or would you rather have that habit built and that house built on a rock, that when all that adversity comes, you stand? See, these habits, when you pick one and you say, I want to create the habit of healthy eating, that is worth digging down and finding the bedrock of why you want that, and then getting the right kind of support to help you build that and found that down. And the system that we use to create that, which is so nice, this is so simple to do, actually allows you to know how to lay that down and how to move that forward. See, you have a routine that happens. When it comes to, I'm just going to pick one of these areas, when it comes to making a healthy food choice, and it comes to making the right decision, what happens is you're looking for some kind of reward, of gratification and satisfaction. And what if you could get that gratification and feeling of fulfillment and satisfaction without doing something that would be detrimental to your health? So when all of a sudden you see that cookie, what if it could be this, that you see that cookie as, here's a choice that I get to make. The cookie now means consider. The cookie now means I get to actually decide who's in the ownership and who's in the driver's seat. Do these habits own me, or do I get to own these habits? What if you could be reprogrammed in this way to where all of a sudden you're on a solid rock and you're able to say, I know why I'm going to choose to consider the choice that I want. Take a deep breath, and I'm going to create a new routine. You may even choose to let the cookies be there and to pull out your health food that you have for yourself. You may choose to actually stop and go, am I actually hungry? Or is it that that's just a habit? Awareness. I see it. The cookies now all of a sudden can mean I'm going to be aware. I'm going to be considerate of myself. I'm going to have compassion on what I really want. And I'm going to choose me and my health, the one that I want to create. See, that's powerful. Or you could create a new routine. That's a new routine. Wouldn't that be? Or you can create a new routine and say, I'm going to choose not to go the path of those cookies. Since Barbara's got those cookies always sitting there on the nurse's desk, or Bob's always got those donuts sitting over there, or those M&Ms in that jar, I'm going to choose to create a new loop. And when I take that new loop down the office path, or however you walk, I'm going to think about this as that I chose this. All right, there's a lot of little nuances, but they're simple to create in your life once you understand how this works. Very, very powerful. So that basically is what we call, you have a cue, something that kind of triggers this process. Maybe you come home from work and you're feeling tired, and your natural thing is, I want a reward of feeling de-stressed, right? So you would choose to go in and get that with food. And maybe you already ate right before you got home. Maybe you haven't. Regardless, you're going to create a new routine in between the cue of where the M&Ms were, where the donuts were, or just coming home from work, if you will, and the reward that you're looking for, which is the satisfaction. The habits of health system that we talk about and create and talk about, and Craig's going to get into coaching and how, or someone's going to get into coaching. I think it's you, Craig. I'm not sure. Is it you? About how important, oh, are you shaking? I can't see you just for a second here.
No, it's going to be Bill. Yep.
All right, Bill. Oh my goodness. Boy, you guys are in for a treat. Craig's going to be a treat on his topic, but Bill's going to nail this. I know it. So wait till you hear how simple it is to be able to move from where you are to where you want to be when you get the right coaching and support there. All right. So as we're talking about this, now you understand that you're the boss. These habits, you're going to choose to possess them and not have them possess you. You're going to create a new routine, and you're going to get the coaching you need so that that's simple. And you're going to use a system so that this can be automatic. Not all, I have to think about all this stuff. Again, how many of you raised your hand that it would be so nice to be able to get through a good day in a healthy way, better finances, better relationships that are not governed and controlled by all of this thoughts that are taking me over. All right, second thing is this. You want to launch these habits appropriately. And when I say launch these habits, what I mean is get them started and get them going so that they can start controlling the rest of your day. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're getting up, I'm going to give you, this is my favorite #1 habit in the world. If you're getting up and rushing right into your day, and your day is controlling you and owning you, and you're bouncing from one thing, I call it pinballing, one thing to the next, you're already in the habit loop that's already been established. There's no room for choice because the habits are too powerful. You're going to be bouncing and reacting to everything that's going on. But if you want to be the boss, the person who responds to life and acts on it, get yourself up a little earlier than you've been getting up. Create the habit of giving yourself a buffer and a little space to decide what you want life to look like this day. Get the support that you need to create a morning routine for you that's going to give you the kind of start, because how you start definitely influences how you're going to finish. I'll tell you what, it's been a blessing to be on this with you.